Well, welcome back to Paranormal Unplugged. We haven't been here for a couple weeks. I don't know. Somebody keeps trying to get in. We're missing somebody. He's not. He's not here.
The
Here.
window's unlocked.
Well, that's how he escaped. That's how Andrew got to go to Wyoming. So he's out chasing dinosaurs. So we're here holding down the fort. We have a guest night, and so Steve, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Doing great.
Yeah.
All right. So
Who's our guest?
Beth OBrien. Beth. So we're gonna bring Beth in here in a second here and get her into the routine here. So welcome, Miss Beth OBrien. So you got me going.
Yeah, look.
And how are you doing, ma'am?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well, thank you.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
You want to tell a little bit about yourself?
Well, let's see. A little bit about myself. So some of the things that I am a psychic medium. I'm an ordained minister, certified shaman, Reiki master, certified hypnotist, paranormal investigator, and end-of-life death doula, which I work with hospice people that are dying. So I do a lot of stuff and the paranormal, so it's a lot. Yeah.
The last one you said, the doula?
Doula, yeah. End of life.
I've never heard of that before.
Well, they do have it for beginning of life, for people giving birth. They'll use a doula for that. And now it's fairly new. I don't know, maybe the last 10, 15 years. So they decided to have you can be an end-of-life death doula. So you work closely with, you work with hospice, but you mostly work with the clients and the patients, and you go to the patient's house and you take care of them there, because like hospice can't be there 24/7. They come and go. So it's kind of like if, the family members need a house, you can actually help them like plan a funeral and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting.
That is. When I was told about that, I was like, I've never heard of that. That's an interesting.
Yeah, a lot of people haven't heard of it. So yeah.
I was like, okay. So you're also a shaman.
Yes.
So how'd you get started in all this?
Well, it started. I'm old now, so it started.
Not as old as him.
That is old.
Not as old as Steve. I was kidding. I'm probably not much younger though. So probably in like my 30s, one of those kids that saw spirit at an early age, and as a child I was afraid of it, so you block it out. And because of social media, it's more acceptable. When your child has an imaginary friend, like they were seeing spirits. So then I was always told, oh, you're too sensitive, you're not seeing anything, here's a pill, go to your room, stop crying, those types of things. And then I blocked it out as a child. Then I got older. I found a mentor that kind of helped me through all this, and to help me to understand what was going on with me. I took psychic development classes in the beginning, and that's where I started with the psychic mediumship stuff. Kind of that's what was first. And then I was like, well, let me try this, and let me do this, and to get basically well-rounded, because the universe is always growing, and so I try to learn as much as I possibly can, and I'm still learning. That's how I got started.
So as a medium,
mm-hmm.
what do you tell people? I mean, what can you figure out on them, or what messages come through?
Well, I'm an evidential medium, so I channel, and then whatever and I'm sitting, it's called the sitter. Whoever's sitting in front of me doing the reading, I give evidence that only the person that's sitting in front of me and spirit would know, some type of a memory or something like that they only the spirit world would know, and the person sitting in front of me. So that's kind of what I do. And I do the psychic part too.
You can't tell them actually what might happen in the future, or?
nobody can predict the future. I mean, maybe there are some out there, but I found.
Sorry.
Getting an echo.
Delay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got an echo.
Yeah.
That was me. That was me. Sorry.
That's okay.
There's like a delay.
Yeah, it was a delay. No, you know what? This psychic part is you're sitting in front of somebody and you're reading their energy, or you're doing the cards, because I do tarot too. So you do the cards, and then you know why I don't predict the future, because that's your life to live, and you can't tell somebody, oh, you're gonna marry Joey or so and so or this and that, because I feel like you take away somebody's free will, and it can change. Yeah, you're not gonna marry Joey. Yeah.
You know where I was going with this, right? I was going to ask you about my future, but thank God you can't.
No way, man. Yeah, so I just give guidance, and you help people on their journey if they have a question about their life, that kind of thing. So it's all for your highest good, is what you're supposed to be doing it for. But I'm sure there's people out there that do it for the wrong reasons too.
Right.
Yeah, there's quite a few people out there for the wrong reasons.
That's the wrong reason is
Money.
money.
Yeah, money.
Wait,
That's a big
I'm
one.
psychic. Hold on, let me think. Money. It's money.
Now you also do tea reading. You read tea
Yeah,
leaves.
yeah, I do.
Now, how
tea
does that
reading.
work?
So you put a little bit of tea into the cup, it's like less than a little quarter of a, like a pinch. And then you put a little bit of water, and you have the person drink the cup, and they put their intention in the cup or the question. And then there's instructions that go with it. And then I would look into the cup and see, what the cup says. Sometimes you look into the cup, and for example, if you see a lot of lines in the cup or dots, it means you're moving, or you're going to be traveling. So there's certain things that go with certain images.
Give me some tea.
My grandmother used to read tea leaves.
Oh, really?
She could do that, yeah.
Oh, cool.
It was always interesting because whenever she did it for somebody,
Yeah.
it usually happens within 30 minutes. Something that was pertaining to that reading happened within 30 minutes. It's really, really, really interesting. So, I mean, it's kind of neat to see that kind of thing done. She did that when I was like 12, 13 years old. She was reading tea leaves, and my mom said she used to do it for everybody back in the day. So there's things that are just interesting about all that
Is
stuff.
that Fido?
What's that?
Who's that, Fido?
His name's Levi. He's just walking all around.
It's like you're talking to somebody.
Yeah, he's like, where's that voice coming from?
So let's move on to tarot cards. Now, tarot cards, if you had a stack in front of you, you flip them over, you can tell someone's path which they're going to be heading, right?
Well, that's
Possible.
more like past, present, future. But future could be tomorrow or whenever. That's how tarot is read. I don't do a lot of tarot. I just do like angel cards or oracle cards. But that's what tarot is supposedly be used for. It can give you guidance toward the future, like you're going to become have abundance, or money's going to come to you. Who doesn't want that, right? I do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you may. What's that?
Let's break out the cards.
Oh boy.
Come on, you can do it. I call her out. I'm just like, nah.
Ask the question. I don't. My cards are actually in my office. I have an office, and I have all that. I didn't bring any back.
It's all right.
But I would have. I should have.
I'll get it live from next time I see you.
Yeah, next time I see you at the bash.
Right. Definitely. No, because I'm going down a path right now. And I want to know which way I should go. So I thought maybe those cards will tell me which way to go.
Okay.
So maybe you can tell me, but maybe you can start really thinking right now. Like, no.
The wheels turning.
Yes or no. That's all I need. Yes or no.
Maybe.
Or maybe. No, I don't want to maybe.
The wheels are turning. Yeah.
His wheels are always turning. If you see smoke, forget it.
Okay.
So what part of the paranormal do you like to focus on when you're doing stuff?
What part of the paranormal?
Yeah, I mean, do you like doing the psychic part of it, or do you just like to do the investigation more?
Both, I guess. I like to do EVP sessions and stuff like that. I try not to. I'm not one of those mediums that you go into a dwelling, especially if you're on investigation with a lot of people, and they say, "Oh, Bobby's in the basement, Mary's in the bathroom," stuff like that. I try to just go in open minded and see what I get. Like I don't like people to tell me what's in there.
Hmm.
If I'm doing a private in a public investigation, then I want you to have the experience. I don't want to tell you I don't want to tell you everything, because I don't know everything, because history is just stories told, so we don't know everything, that's happened there, so I like, if it's a public investigation, I like you to figure out or see what you get, and then if they have questions, then they ask me questions about the history at the end.
Okay. So, what was one of the unique places that you've been that you've got some really interesting things go on with it, investigating, and if you connect with somebody in that spot?
The Hoover
Now,
House.
have you actually walked into a place and something connected right away to you?
Yeah, yeah. The Hoover House is a great place to investigate.
Oh yeah.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Your check for $25 in the mail now.
You're paying that? You're paying now? Okay. That's new.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you always get like evidence there, and I was just at the Shanley House in New York on Saturday. That was an interesting time there. Um, but yeah, sometimes, what I like to do is, as I'm driving to a place or someone else is driving, I always have pad and paper, and I sometimes I start getting stuff before I get to the dwelling, which is kind of interesting.
That's when you know you're gonna have a good night, when you have something come to you as you're going through.
Yeah.
That's kind of neat. I mean, there's places I like to. There's still a lot of places I like to see here on the East Coast that are on my list to be able to go to and see. So
Yeah, there's a lot of places that I've been to, but there's also more that I would like to go to.
How far have you gone? Have you gone just down the East Coast? Have you gone out west?
East Coast, probably the Rolling Hills is one of the farthest. It's in upstate New York. Probably the furthest I've driven was like 6 miles, 6 hours.
6 miles. I went to the quick check. I went to the quick check. They
Yeah.
were in a Wawa, wherever they have out there.
Yeah, went to Wawa and back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's always the Shanley was one that was on my bucket list. So I'm glad I got to go there. Um, yeah. So I mean, there's lots of places that and some are more haunted than others. Went to the Hinsdale House. Um,
I've never been there. Tell me about that place. How is it?
I mean, it's pretty scary, but it's fun scary. I mean, it's a small house, and there's a lot going on there. I've only was there one time, so that's pretty active, that house. Um, Knickerbocker, I've been to. There's just so many now that.
Another one I haven't been to. That's New York too, ain't it?
Yeah. Yep, the Wildwood Sanitarium, that's in Wildwood, New York. That's a cool place to go to too. And Penhurst, we've investigated Penhurst. Um, yeah, there's a lot.
there's so many places out.
Shanley. Shanley. I said Shanley. The Shanley.
Yeah.
When you went there's a little boy up in the upper room. You know what his name was?
Where in the in what
Yeah,
room?
the Shanley Hotel in Nappaneck, New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, upstairs there's a kid.
There's
I
a
know
girl
I brought him a toy. I brought him a toy
Yeah.
truck.
Yeah, there's a girl named Rosie up there. They said she was 3 years old. She fell into a well.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so yeah, there's lots going on there, because that is old, and God, the history
I
of that
haven't
is.
been there in years. Last time I was there, had a barbecue with Sal, and Sal was alive at the time, of course.
Oh, wow.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to have a barbecue with him. But otherwise,
Yeah.
we had a barbecue like if you're facing the building to the right side There's a porch, and we had a grill out there, and we used to cook out there. It's the last time I've been there. But I
Oh,
need to go back.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I was allowed down in the basement at the time. I heard that sometimes they don't allow you down in the basement. You have to climb down. It's like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were allowed to go down the basement on Saturday, and it's close too. To me, it was only 2.5 hours from me,
Right.
so it's close. Yeah.
That's not too bad. I mean, everything's pretty close. It's like somebody
Have
said.
you ever been to Burnbrae Mansion?
No,
Oh, we gotta go. You gotta go
What's
there.
I was never
Definitely. That's
there.
up in that's in Barryville, New York,
Okay.
which is close to you. Actually, it's not as far as Rolling Hills and that.
Oh, okay.
It's right above Port Jervis. You know
Okay,
where Port
yeah.
Jervis is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right above it.
Okay.
So we got a question for you. If you could travel to the West Coast, what would be the first place you want to investigate?
I need your mind real quick.
Uh-oh. The West Coast.
Yeah, let's see.
I don't know. I don't know what's on the West Coast to investigate, to be honest with you. I mean, I've been to
Yes.
California. I've been to Sierra Nevada, California, out that way. They have a lot of cool, that's cool places out there, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Good question.
Yeah, because I mean,
I thought you were going to say Alcatraz.
Alcatraz is
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, Alcatraz. Yeah, I heard that was a cool place to go to.
It's very interesting. The Winchester House is neat. Then if you go down to San Diego, you got
I'm going to go to Tombstone.
the Whaley House in San Diego.
Tombstone and Panama Smith, who was that? The team died and they were eating each other. What was that?
The what died?
I think it was a soccer team or something like
No,
that.
no,
Correct.
no.
What was that?
You're talking about the yeah. Now I went blank. He's talking about the people that
You're as good as me.
he's talking about the oh god,
He says it all the time to me.
Donner Pass.
That's
The
it.
Donner
Donner
Party.
Pass. That's
Oh.
what happened there.
Donner Pass is where they ate. That's where
Yeah,
they,
but
they
it
ate
was a
each other.
soccer team or
No,
something. What was
no,
it?
it was travelers. They were going across country and they got stuck in the snow.
Where's the soccer team or whatever that team that crashed and they were eating each other to stay alive?
Not near us. That was in the mountains
Yeah,
someplace. Cannibals. Tombstone is pretty neat. If you ever get a chance to go to Tombstone, Tombstone's pretty neat to go see.
Our friend Eric Elton, is in Tombstone. I don't know if he's there no more as fast as he's moving. The guy
Okay.
left here. He went to Virginia. He went to Virginia, North Carolina. From North Carolina, I think he went to Georgia. Then from Georgia, he went to they call it Louisiana. And from
Louisiana.
Louisiana, he went to Texas. From Texas, this is all like real quick.
It's
Nice.
like
Roswell.
Yeah.
He went to Roswell, and now he's in Tombstone.
Nice.
So we're gonna put him up here eventually, not today, but probably next week. Where's Eric? We're gonna find out where he's at.
so you do Reiki also. So
Yes.
how do you get your energy to go into one situation? I mean, since you have the psychic ability, you have the Reiki, and how do you get all that to meld into one format? Because I know you can be pulled, I have a spirit, you're doing a Reiki session, you have a spirit pulling away. How do you ground all that together?
You mean when I do a Reiki session?
Yeah. Can you ground all that together and not have everything come popping in at the same time?
Well, you can just get Reiki done, or you could get half Reiki and a half reading. But a lot of times, sometimes when I do Reiki, you will get like messages for them, from the spirit world. So yeah, that's how I do it. But the shamanism I also do, because the shamans work with the Earth's energy, and where Reiki works with the universal energy. So it's kind of like I do a combination of things,
Mhm.
because a lot of what we do is soul retrievals, they're called, in shamanism. So they have they call it the three worlds. They have the lower world, to where you would I would do meditation, and I would see what soul is missing, and you go to retrieve it. It's called. You would envision the person standing in front of you and see where they need the healing, whether it's emotional, mental, physical, or spiritual. And then you would go and like, get that piece and put it back into the body. The middle world is our world here now today, and then you have the spirit world. So it depends on where the issue is with that person. So, and then you would just, do the healing according to that where they need the help, and then I would incorporate the Reiki in it and with it too.
Yeah, so when you meet a person, do
Mhm.
you listen to what they have to say to you first, or you can actually feel what's missing that they need?
I mean, sometimes they just come in, or sometimes they say, "Oh, my back hurts. I need some healing on my back." Sometimes they'll just come out and tell you, or you'll when you begin the Reiki session, because you do it, you go over the whole body. Sometimes I'll be intuitively guided to go back to like my knee will hurt, and I'll go back to their knee, and I let them lay there the whole time. I don't talk to them, and there's meditation music, so my hands will be drawn back to their knee, because my knee they'll make my knee hurt, or they'll put in my mind, oh, this person has a hurt knee, and then afterwards we go over. I say, oh, did you have pain? Do you have pain in your left knee? And most of the time they say, oh yeah, I have pain in my left knee. So then that's where I sent the
Focus
Reiki
on
healing. Yeah, and that's what I do. Most of the time I get either the word, they'll tell me, spirit will tell me corporal tunnel or something like that. So I'll work on their arm, or shoulder cuff is torn. So, they back in the day, like, especially if it's a guy, they usually play baseball. So they had so I would, concentrate on that area. If they're in their head all the time, they got a lot of anxiety, like a lot of, I call it monkey brain. Their mind's going a million miles a minute. I would concentrate on their head mostly, so different areas of the body, to help them with whatever's going on with them. But I also do that with hypnosis too. I do. I'm a certified hypnotist, so I do.
Oh,
Pa-
well,
yeah, I
you
do
can hypnotize me?
past
Honestly, you
lives.
can't. Seriously, you can can you
Uh,
hypnotize me?
if you can do meditation, I can hit. I'm not. I can't
I'll do
hypnotize
anything you
you.
want me to do.
He's
You
got
want me
monkey
to?
brain. He's got monkey
No,
brain.
I honestly want to be hypnotized, and I'll tell you
I can
why.
do. I can come to the Hoover and do it, because I want you have to be like laying down. I have to do it in
That's
person.
fine.
Yeah, and
The
I
reason.
do. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I do past. I do hypnotism for past life regression and inner child healing. And so we all, but I also do it for anxiety and fear and stuff like that, because there's different scripts and things that you can do for this hypnosis. I take you in a guide. Hypnosis is just a guided meditation, because I talk to you. If I'm doing a past life regression, I have to ask you questions. And so what happens is I ask you questions. You're in a state of meditation. I have to ask you, like, what year is it? What country are you in? Are you male or female? If you can't answer my questions, then it turns into an inner child healing, and it's this life that needs healing. So this life needs healing, and all our traumas in our subconscious. So I get to your subconscious. That's how.
Right. So,
Go
so
ahead.
what I want to do is maybe we can do this at the bash, because we have some private rooms. The thing
Yeah,
I just don't want Pam in there because Pam will say make him act like a chicken or something like that, and I don't want that.
they won't
You
do
know,
that.
she's
That
like,
they don't
is
do.
he out? Yeah, no, he's in the hypnosis. Make him act like a chicken or something. No, I ain't doing that. The reason why I'm asking is because I told my doctor, when I died, my doctor came to my room and asked me and said, "Hey, listen, what did you see?" And I said, "Hey, I saw something." He goes, "The whole time I was working on your heart and getting the blockage out, you were talking to me." And I said to him, "Well, what did I say to you?" He goes, "Come back in a month. When you come to my office, I'll tell you what you said."
Mhm.
So I went in there and I said, "Hey, Doc," and I'm back a month later at the visitation, and I'm talking to him. I said, "Remember when we talked in my room?" "Yeah, yeah." I said, "You asked me, what did I see? What was it? What did I say to you?" He goes, "Why do you want to know?" I said, "Because I'm going to write a book." And he shut right up. He wouldn't talk to me. He said, "No, I'm not going to tell you. I don't want to be in no book."
Oh.
So if I can be hypnotized, I think maybe I'll say what I said then.
Oh yeah, yeah. you could try. We could try it.
But
And then,
people have warned me about that. They said don't do it because it may make your heart go blah blah blah, blah like it was back then. And you might go.
oh, yeah. Well, you're
I don't
very
know if that happens as a hypnotist. Could that happen or no?
you're very relaxed during the hypnotism, like because I do a guided meditation to relax you. I talk to you and take you into a guided meditation, and we'll just have to. I have to ask you questions. You would just have to give me like a date and time because I have to ask you, on this date, you know what I'm saying? What did you say, or did you remember what you said? Stuff like that.
Bash might be the wrong place to do that then. Let's do it here. No, seriously, let's do
Yeah.
it here when you come here
Yeah.
and in the closed environment. And I want to actually take if you don't mind, I want to record it.
Yeah, absolutely.
With my Tascam.
Yeah.
Tascam is our sponsor.
Yeah.
Recorder and actually know what I said and see what I said to the doctor because I don't know.
Yeah.
Two things I don't know. Two things is I don't know what I said to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And two, they filmed me when I was coming out of anesthesia in intensive care.
Right.
I don't know how the TV show got in there, but they did film me waking up, and I've never seen that footage.
Oh wow.
They won't let me see it. They said you don't want to see it. I'm like, okay, well, I like to see it, but it's me, so I should be able to see it, but they won't show it to me.
Oh wow, that's crazy, huh?
So,
Yeah.
I have a couple questions on past life. So, what's one of the most unique ones that you ever did for somebody in past life? I mean, that's always something I've always wanted to see about doing.
Well, most of the time, I mean, not all past lives are bad. You know how people say, "Oh, I must have done something wrong in the past life." That's not necessarily true, but most of the time, it's 1800s or maybe even further back, 17. Some people we went far as back as 1500s, and they were a witch. You know, that's kind of interesting. But I haven't had anybody that hurt somebody or anything like that yet.
well, talking about that, if you hypnotize someone, can you ask them what their past life was? Would they give you an answer? Possibly.
Well, I do ask them. That's part of the
Okay.
yeah. When I ask you once you're under or once you're in meditative state.
Right.
I ask you. I take you on this boat thing down the trail, and you get off on an island, and I say, look down at your shoes. What do your shoes look like? What do your clothes look like? Can you tell me? Are you what country are you in? Can you tell me if some people can give their first and last name and something that you could Google and see who that was? How did you die? Were you married? Is there kids? Is there family around you? Do you feel safe? Are you happy? So these are questions that I ask. There's probably 15 to 20 questions I ask. I ask you and you answer me in that meditative state because all our trauma and our past lives is in our subconscious, and then we start to remember once we're in that meditative state.
So how do you know someone's definitely in that state? Because I see some hypnotists go, and someone on stage, and they're all
that's for show.
It is. So they're all faking that.
Yeah, that's
they're all
for
actors
show.
up there.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering how they're going.
Okay, let's try it. Ready? Yeah, that's all for show. Yeah, you don't cluck like a duck unless you're an actor and they tell you to cue you to start clucking. But yeah, it's just a guided meditation. That's all. Past lives are.
So it's like dealing with past life. So somebody being brought, like with me, I'm always drawn to certain areas. So like drawn to Pennsylvania and stuff like that. So that has to do with past lives that you're drawn to that area, most likely, right?
Yeah, or deja vu, like you were there.
I was just going to say that deja vu.
Yeah, like you were there. You might have been there before in a past life. You might have been. So yeah, but it is interesting. I did it once. Somebody did it to me one time, and then I was like, I was like a 9-year-old boy. My name was Paul. I was in the UK. I was a carpenter. had a heart attack or when I died, something like that. And then when I woke up, I was like, did I just make this shit up? Because I was like, where'd it come from? But
Talking about deja vu.
yeah, no,
I'm,
a past life.
you know, no, this wasn't. This is I don't know what deja vu, past life, whatever it is. We were going to South Dakota with my parents, and because this gas station doesn't exist no more. All right, so we're driving through there, and we blow a hose on an AMC Pacer. That's how far back I'm going. We were driving an AMC Pacer my mom had, pulling a pop-up camper, and we blew a hose. Like my dad's like, "Oh, it cracked." He's like, "I think we can make it." I said, "Dad, about a mile up on the right hand side is a Texaco."
Oh.
He's looking at me like, and sure enough, we went up the road. There was a Texaco station. Something just told me there was a Texaco station.
Oh, there you
And
go.
there was. They fixed the car there. Yeah, they called the auto parts store. They fixed it. They fixed the car, and we went on our merry way. But it was just weird that,
Yeah.
like, how did I know that station was there?
Just an intuition. You got good intuition, Steve. That's intuition.
I've had this for a long time.
Yeah.
It's got worse. I mean, I'm better, but not worse. But there's things that happen now that everyone says a gift. Run with your gift. But sometimes it can be very annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Like more table tipping.
Yeah.
I get the spirit saying to me, say this, say this, say this, say this. And if I don't say it, they'll drive me nuts until I say it.
Yeah.
So I just say, I got to stop the whole table tipping session. I just say, hey guys, does this belong? And 99%, someone will answer me and say, oh my God, how did you know that? And
There
I'm
you
just
go,
like, they're
see?
telling me,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
but I never had that gift until I passed, when I came back.
That's when most people have these experiences,
And
or spiritual awakening. They have traumatic experiences to where they, then all of a sudden they can, they're in psychics. They can feel, sense, and see
I do
things.
the Pam. I just did to her last week and this week. She'll start to think something. I'll say something to eat that we're gonna eat. She goes, get out of my head. Get out of my head. Why are you thinking exactly what I'm thinking? Because the thought comes in my head, and I can't control it. It's like boom.
Yeah, it just comes like right.
Like Kevin right now is mocking me, saying, "Why do you always mock me out about my lawnmower?"
Yeah.
I'm reading this smart. You think about your lawnmower just now?
Oh yeah. I could do something else and let it work.
Honestly.
So, how'd you become a shaman? That's an interesting area to get into.
Where my office is called the Center Life and Balance. It's in Medford, New Jersey, and it's 2 floors of holistic practitioners. I've been there about 10 years. And there's a shaman practitioner that came to the center, and she was putting on, this class. It was 9 months, and you got a certification for a practicing shaman. To be a shaman, you got to go to like Peru, and you got to be invited to be a shaman. So I'm a practicing shaman. And I just took the classes, and that's what I did. I was always interested in it. So that's why
they gotta actually ask you to come to Peru. How does that work?
You have to know somebody. Like, it's not just like you have to be invited. I don't know. You have to know somebody, kind of thing, for someone to initiate you to be a shaman.
Okay,
that's interesting. I mean, that'd be interesting.
Sorry, I have no connections there. Moonshine, no connections.
That is neat to know that you actually has that. Now that's kind of interesting that you guys have a holistic center. I think I'm not thinking Jersey as a place to have a holistic center. I was thinking Santa Monica, California. That's interesting that you guys have that.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the only ones really around. It's like community. The house is, like I said, 3 floors. It used to be in 1800s. They delivered babies there. Dr. Edgar Haynes, which is real popular, well-known name in that area. They deliver babies, and it was a dentist. And then family owned it, and then it was a bed and breakfast. And then the Center Life and Balance took it over. And then we're just, there's 9 bedrooms and 9 bathrooms. That's how, they get the rent paid for, because there's practitioners in each room. And we do classes there. We have a metaphysical shop there. So it's a cool place.
That's neat. That's
So
really
you're
neat.
there often or no?
I'm there as needed as a client. It's not 9 to 5. If I have a client, they book through me. I go there. I teach right now. I teach a mediumship circle. I'm doing there. I teach psychic development classes. So if I have a client, then I'll go. It's like, because it's not every day. This work is never steady. So you have to. I'm working a lot. Trying to, pay bills.
Hey, aren't we all?
Yeah. So, yeah. But we
That's-
did do a paranormal investigation there about 8 years ago, and no lie, we got 43 EVPs.
Dang.
But they don't want to do it there anymore, because there's people there. I think that not everybody likes the paranormal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but it was fun. It was a fun time.
But not everyone can have their own way either. No, don't say that loud.
So, but, yeah.
So what was the best EVP? Do you know what the best EVP was out of there or no?
Oh gosh, we're going back a long time.
So it's been that long. Now
Can't
go
think.
back and do one.
8 year. I know. Well, they don't want to do one there, but I am in charge of another place called West Hill Manor in Burlington, and it's on Oxmoor Road in Burlington, and that's from the 1700s. And Jason Halls was there in August, and him and JV did a paranormal investigation there. And Katrina Weidman said she wants to book there too. So it's kind of cool, like, to have it there. They just got on the historical site like 2017, and it's a diamond in the rough. So I'm in charge of that place only for paranormal investigations. So
Katrina's like Jason. She's very thorough.
Yeah.
She's really good.
yeah. So that would be exciting for her to come out, to raise money for the historic house. That's why we do it mostly.
That is neat. That's one of the places, another place I like to see eventually.
You guys
It's
are
one of the places I haven't seen. People think, hey, you're on the show. You went here, here, here. I've never been to the place in Trans-Allegheny.
Me
Like
neither.
John mentioned. I've never been
never-
there. What's the other one? Starts with W.
West.
Yeah.
White Hill? No.
No, I've never been to Whitehall either.
Really?
No.
That's one blank. The brain went.
I know. I can't. When it comes to that, I
It's in
can't.
West
think
Virginia. Not Moundsville, the other one.
I can't.
Waverly.
Waverly. That's it.
Waverly.
I've never
I've
been
never.
to Waverly. I've never Pennsylvania. I've never been down to Philly to the prison.
Oh, I've been there once. That was
East,
interesting.
Eastern.
Yeah, East Penn.
State.
Yeah,
East Penn
never
was
been
interesting.
I've
Penrith
never
has been there.
investigated there. I've been to a haunted attraction there, but I've never
And
investigated.
the reason why I haven't been to those places is because back then, I wish I was there now, but a lot of places I can go there is because they were done over and over and over. And I like places that haven't been done yet. I
Yeah.
like going to a place that no one's investigated. That's why I like homes. I like going to someone's homes.
Yeah.
Actually, I got one right here in Waynesboro, which I got to remind Pam when we get off this. That we're supposed to check out up here on Franklin Street. The guy says things move in his house and everything else. It'd be pretty cool if I can get that on video. But
That would be cool.
yeah, it's just like that's why I like doing. I hate going to a place. Oh, little Timmy's up in room 3, up in room
Right.
the 4th floor, and I'm like,
Yeah. No.
so everyone's going up there and talk to Timmy. Is Timmy really there? If I was Timmy, I'd be the heck out of there. I'd be hiding somewhere.
It's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
It's like that post I posted. It says
Yeah,
I don't like
EVPs
that.
$25.
Yeah. I don't like that either. I don't like when someone names a spirit in every single room. You
Right.
know, they don't stay in a room for one thing. They can go wherever they want.
Yeah. It's like we were at Bisbee, Arizona, and we stayed in this lodge, and it was kind of hippie style lodge type thing. And supposedly, a soldier was shot in the room that we were staying in. And it was 2 rooms, and the door was supposedly open and this and that. And somebody had YouTubed it, and they had the video up and stuff. So I watched the video before we went there. So my daughter was in the back room where she was sleeping. My wife were in the front room, and I'm like, okay, well, the door opens. I'm gonna put something there just in case the door opens. We know. So my daughter and I started doing EVPs in the back, and I had a full-on conversation what was there, and it was answering, off of the REM pods and stuff like that, making things move, and all the stuff was going off. It was really interesting, and I was like, okay, but how is this supposedly the Confederate soldier that's there? You don't know, because this is what they tell you, and that's what they're telling you when you walk into the place. This is what it is. But it also had a big old in the middle of the hotel or motel or whatever you want to call it, is a big old well that had running water through it. So you got energy from that coming up through it, and that's what it was. The whole place was built upon that area. It was interesting. I mean, certain areas were really interesting. But it's like you can't say that person's only in that spirit's only in that room.
Yeah. But,
I mean, it could be with that land.
That's why I go to these private places, because
yeah.
if little Timmy's in that room, he'd probably hide and stick it here and
yeah.
you know you're dead. Like,
yeah.
Can you make something move? Can you light my light up? If someone came in my room every damn day like that and said,
can you light this up? Yeah.
What's different is when you go to a place that's never been investigated, and you go in there and you talk to spirit, and I think they're confused at first. Like, they're like, can these people see us? Can they hear us? Think about the other side. Think about, you're asking questions, and they're like, like, we went over to Yaller House over here, which is the Historical Society of Waynesboro. And Jim Wyrick went in there, and the first night we were there, he put a recorder out, and he had Bob Olson with him. And when they were sitting there and they were asking questions, and they said, we came right over, Jim's like, is there anyone here that would like to talk to me? It's like they knew they were there. They go, are you here for the party? Is what they got as an EVP. Are you here for the party? Steve, right away, Jim's got to call me. Steve, you got to get down here. You got to see this. Just like when we bought the Hoover house.
Mm-hmm.
Jim and I came through the whole house. We had the realtor here. The room the podcast is in right now, this room that we're in, I don't know if Kevin can move a camera around. That room where it says unplugged, to the left side there where that chair is was a couch.
Okay.
And Jim sat at that couch, and he was up here by himself while I was walking through with the realtor. And all of a sudden he calls me, you got to get up here. You got to get up here. I go, what? What? He did an EVP session, and the spirit said to him, Jim says, ask him some question. They go, is the deal done yet?
Oh, wow.
And Jim's like, we're buying this house. And it took off from
really
there.
Cool. Yeah, they want you there. And you can tell you're very loved at that house.
Yeah. Or is the deal done yet? So
that's funny.
That was really cool. And it happened right in this room. So.
That's why we always have issues with the podcast. We didn't have one tonight.
Don't jinx us.
Where's Wood? There's always something that happens during the podcast. Either we lose voice, we lose cameras, we lose internet.
Oh, wow.
Something doesn't want to work. It's just amazing. I mean,
are you going to the wedding this weekend?
Am I going where?
John Chris's wedding. Will you be there?
No, I won't. No. Oh. I don't think I was invited. I think everybody's invited.
Everyone's invited. They put her out there.
Oh, yeah. No,
I'm DJing. I'm DJing.
Man.
I'm the DJ.
I'm supposed to help you at
I know. Bash. Didn't forget that. But see, you could have practiced before.
I could have practiced.
So you could have. The bash is going to be a different machine now. So you got one of the new machines. I have the one that I use at New Jersey Power Unity. And I switched up because that one was starting to give me issues. And I said, Pam, I don't want to be in the middle of DJing and then the system quit, because electronics are very funny if you store them in we store in a dry spot, but the basement can be a little moist sometimes,
Yeah.
And it could affect electronics. So we're starting to have issues. And so I purchased another DJ system. It's an older, actually, it's not anything new. It's the older style. Kevin knows. Kevin actually showed me how to use it.
I had
Thank God.
nothing. I didn't know what I was doing, but I figured it out.
He figured it out. It is very difficult how to use this machine because digital and all.
Yeah.
But yeah, it had when we bought it, what 15,000 songs.
Yeah, it's 15,000 songs.
15,000 songs was stored in this
Wow,
thing. Yeah.
that's a good
So
amount.
from the guy that had it, he had passed away. He was a DJ,
Oh,
and his wife was selling it. We got a good deal on it, but
oh, nice.
yeah, it plays really nice. I mean, plays way better than my other system, but it's
Yeah.
just a little bulky. I'd bring it down to the wedding this weekend. I'll bring my other system just because it's more compact and easier to use. And
Yeah.
it sounds good. It still
Yeah.
sounds good. We tried it out, so the old system's still working. We're going to use that. But you'll see the new system at the bash.
Nice.
Now I'm thinking of moving karaoke out of the pool area because I saw Dave Schrader's post saying, "Are we going to be blistering hot in the pool area?" He is totally correct on that. You can't cool the pool area down at the Eisenhower, and the reason why you can't cool it down is because if you look down the pool area, all the rooms are facing it.
Yeah.
So all the air conditioner vents are blowing into the pool area. So you got cool air in the bedrooms, but the hot air has got to go somewhere. So it's blowing out into the pool area.
Oh no.
And they had the big fans on. I'll talk to Angie about it. They did have big air conditioners in there at an event I just saw last week or the week before. That maybe they can put that in there just to cool things up. But I told Dave Schrader also there's a pool you can jump in. But if not, people like the pool area because there's a lot of seating.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm thinking
yeah.
I might move it to the Aspire just for air conditioning reasons. And it does get hot in there. So it's something we're still thinking about. I got to talk to Pam about it. She's she's finding this out like you are right now,
That's probably said
listening
something
to the
about
show. But,
Steve.
but it's something we might do because he did bring up a very, very valid point that it does get warm in there.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Now you say you're in charge of what's the name of the place again?
West Hill Manor,
West Hill Manor. Okay, where's that located? Is that in?
Burlington, New Jersey.
Okay, down in Burlington. Okay.
Is that anywhere near the Burlington jail or whatever?
Yes.
Okay.
The Mount
Okay,
Holly jail, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah,
Mount
that's
Holly,
what
yeah.
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes away.
Oh wow.
Dang,
So it's close to there. Yeah.
I probably drove past it when I was working in Jersey for Frito because I was down there working down
Possibly.
there. I drove
Yeah.
I
by.
used to drive Waltham, Jersey for the X-ray company.
Yeah.
I probably get lost now.
Oh, I drove the Frito Lay trucks through Jersey and stuff like that. Drive by and it
Oh,
says,
okay.
"Oh, look at that! Dang, that's a historic building." And I'm like, pulling the parking lot and looking around. I'm like, I gotta get back to work.
I came over from Milford, PA to Sussex, New Jersey. And I haven't been there like in 8 years. And they changed the roads around. It used to be one way this way. It was two-way, right? Now it's one way. One way this way, and over here where the dealership is the other way. And I came in town, I'm used to going this way, then up, and then turn. No, I had to go straight. And then I got over to Chatterbox in Sussex, and that wasn't even there no more, Chihuahua.
Mm.
And I'm like, where in the heck am I? Everything just changed. Somehow, you leave a state for a little while and how everything changes so quick.
Yeah.
It looked better, to be honest with you, but it was just like confusing. And I used to drive that stuff like crazy. And I was like, I'm getting old and I'm not remembering the roads. Or
He's getting old.
that's what I think it is. I remember the trip to Dover. I told you how to get there.
Yeah, that's only get there. Well, that's like we're going to the wedding, but then my wife and I are going the next day. We're going up to Suffern, up to Airmont Cemetery. So I haven't driven up there since last time the girls were out. And that was like
The only reason why I know Dover so well is because I live right next door to
okay.
Jefferson Township borders Dover. So we used to go down. I used to work in Rockaway, which is a town over from Dover.
Yeah, Rockaway's out. So, well, is anything coming up for you that you want to plug? And
I'm trying to think. No, I don't think so. I'm just working, doing my thing, and that's about it. Anything to plug? No.
So, anybody want to get a hold? If somebody wants to get a hold of you for a Reiki section or
Schedule something
with you, how do they go about doing that?
Well, my email is Beth BETHOB67 at yahoo.com. They can email me there, and then they can ask me questions.
Okay. You don't have a website yet?
No, I have a website, but my website is spiritual healing through guidance.
Okay.
Yeah, I do have it, but it needs to be updated. Like, I'm not fancy with all that. Like, you can see everything I do on the website, but you have to like email me to schedule. But I'm on Facebook too. That all this stuff is on Facebook under Beth OBrien,
Okay.
and I'm on Instagram also. Same thing. So yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All right.
Doing good, girl. Doing good.
That's good. Keep yourself
So
busy.
yeah, definitely. I'm gonna take you up on that at Hoover House.
Yeah, definitely.
I
Yeah.
definitely, because it's something I wanted to know. And Pam did say to me that you were a hypnotist a while ago, and I just
Yeah.
forgot that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I really want someone to hypnotize me. And I like
Yeah.
them to ask me those questions, find out what answers I'll come up with what I told them, because you didn't tell me. So I think you can, as a hypnotist, you can get those answers, can't you? If you ask the right questions. I
Yeah,
should
you
tell
should.
you.
Yeah. It's in your subconscious. You should be able
Right.
to answer. Yeah, as long as you can get into that meditative state, you should be able to answer. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll
That's
have to do that. Yeah.
Definitely.
That's neat.
So to meditate, what do I gotta do to like get into that state? What do I
Well,
gotta, something I gotta think about?
Well, you're going to be laying down. I'm going to take you into the guided meditation. I'll
Okay.
talk to you and take you into that meditation.
Now, if someone, do people are allowed in the room to watch, or is something you gotta do privately, and so I can focus, or
I mean, as long as they're cool. Well, you're going to be laying down like on a Reiki table or
I need
massage
someone to film it. That's all I'm
table.
saying.
Yeah, you'll be laying down comfortable. So, unless I have like quiet meditation music on, and then I'll
Okay.
just talk to you and I'll say, now deep breaths, like the guided meditation. Yeah, you can have someone in there because your eyes are going to be closed.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Sounds
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I definitely, because I've been trying to find these answers since 2015.
Yeah.
So it's been 10 years.
All right. We can try. That's all we can do. We could try, and it should be. You should be able to. If you can if you can meditate, then you should be able to get to that state. But it's easier to get to that state when someone's telling you to get into that state. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'll be talking to you and helping you get to that place.
Okay. Just have a little clock on tick, tick, tick.
No clocks going. They drive me nuts. Yeah, you're gonna watch a clock. No. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been something I've been waiting for a long time. It's something you want to know an
Yeah.
answer to,
Yeah, of
And-
course. Yeah.
and you're denied the answer when the doctor knows what the answer is, and you didn't tell me. I was like, that's someone being in a book. If I didn't mention the book, he probably would have told me.
What are you reading? What'd you say? You're reading a book, or you want to write a book?
No, a lot of people told me what happened to me, and they know the story that when I do my speeches,
Yeah.
like Ron Yacovetti and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Ron does it with me a lot. Ron's like, dude, you should be writing a book. One, I can write right on Facebook. Everyone reads my post, and then Flip comes on there, flips and watches. He'll tell you, say, no, dude, it's there, not there. You spelled it wrong. So if I wrote a book, everyone would be totally confused.
Well, you should.
I'd like someone to write it. Pam took all the notes from day one when I was, I guess, coming out of anesthesia and all. She took all those notes and talked to me after the surgery and everything else. She put it all on the laptop. She has all that information.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of someone finding the story, what happened before I had it, and then what I did after. The middle part would be the part I'm missing right now.
Yeah, gotcha.
So
Okay, we can try it. It's all you gotta do is try.
if I get that middle part, then I'm ready to do the book.
Then you can write your book.
I need a ghostwriter. Yeah, I just need a ghostwriter.
There you go. Yeah, I can't.
I allow
spell either.
offers, people saying, "Oh, I'll write it," and then I don't hear from them no more.
Oh, yeah. Well, it'll happen.
Yeah. Oh, see, psychic.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
All right. Well, we're coming up on that time.
Magic hour. Okay.
Magic hour
All
here.
right. All
But
right,
thank you for
well-
coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was fun. It was good to see you guys.
You're welcome anytime.
I'll see you soon.
So.
Yeah. Well, maybe I can come up maybe another time and come on and do readings.
Please.
All right.
We could do
That
that,
sounds
too.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds like it'll be fun.
All right.
Well,
I hope to
we're
see
gonna let
guys
you go.
soon. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Have
Have a good night. All right. Bye.
night.
Bye, Steve.
Bye bye. She's great.
So that was Beth. That was
She's great.
That was neat.
Italian
She's a really
female.
nice person.
Really nice person.
Really nice person. I met her a couple times and she's super, super nice.
To me or to you, because I know no one's nice to you, Kat.
Here we go. Speaking of not being nice, Darling's probably not watching anything.
Yeah,
you know,
where's
he's-
Andrew? Let's talk about him for a second before we get off. That guy comes here, tells us nacho pizza is better than anything else.
Yeah.
Then he takes off and goes to Wyoming and leaves us stranded here, right?
Well, we started out with 4, then we went 2, then we went 3, and then we're back down to 2 again.
Right.
Well, Andrew said he'll be back in, so you know how he is.
Yeah.
We just miss our
It's
dynamite.
gonna be great to find out what he found, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Because it looks amazing on what he's finding on Facebook. I think he found some kind of bird. I think it's a bird.
yeah, it's a bird he found. I forgot what it was, but
I think he found an arrowhead too, which I told him was mine, so I left it there. So I told him I was digging. I found that. I just sat it down on the ground. He walked by, found it. He's claiming it's his, but you know how it is.
So you gave him the bird?
Yes, I gave him the bird. Exactly.
So, all right, guys. Well, it's been in between a couple different weeks and stuff. So we're going to try to get these going back up again and get some more people on and get things going.
I'm going to let some people know if it may happen every time in June. But if you get a chance and you're into moonshine, go to the Popcorn Sutton Jam. I'm telling you,
Steve,
the
have
people, I love it. The people, and Buc-ee's, you got to go to Buc-ee's because we go to Buc-ee's all the time. But then there's going to be one, supposedly Hagerstown, hopefully. But there's one, we found the one in Virginia where they're building it. It was all built.
fun. It's not as
It
open
just
yet.
wasn't open yet. It's a 2-hour ride from here, so we can take a 2-hour. We can do a day trip. To
Well, that's not bad.
But otherwise, the people down there are just phenomenal. They're so friendly. That's why I love that state so bad. So if you can get to the Popcorn Sutton Jam, it's something I tell you really go to. I enjoyed it. We had a blast. We brought the bike down. Your trailer held up.
It held up.
So it did. It held up. Brought us down there and back. And it went over 75 miles an hour. Like you told us, it goes 55. Now your trailer is 75, no problem.
That's because how much weight I had when coming across
Yeah, I
country.
know. But anyway, thank you for that.
No problem.
And you see a veteran, say thank you.
Remember,
And-
guys.
And get them a cup of coffee or a soda or something, especially in this heat.
Remember, guys. The bash is coming up, so make sure if you're going, make sure you know what time it is and everything else, and get on board with that. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be pretty neat this year.
And Pam, thanks. And I thank you all for coming to the bash and support our veterans and kids that are with serious illness. And hi, Kelly. I know you missed it, Kelly.
But you can watch it. It's there.
You can watch it.
It's there. It's on
It's
YouTube.
back
It's on
on.
Facebook. It's growing.
Right.
So, but guys, thank you for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great night, and who knows what's going to be on next time?
I think we have moonshine.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
I got a couple moonshine friends. I can pull one of them on.
All right.
Okay, talk to you later, guys.
All right. Good
All
night.
right, bye-bye.